Hi you guys. Welcome to the first official video of this channel. I'm so excited and I hope you are too. Like, subscribe, share if you already haven't. And yeah, welcome to my channel. So I was thinking, what's a good first official video to do on this channel? And I thought about it. I thought about the actual content of the channel. And most of the content is in the kitchen. And before we even get in the kitchen and start doing stuff, you gotta know what's in your kitchen, what it's all used for. So without further ado, the basics, knowing what's in your kitchen. Let's do it. Hi you guys, welcome back. So for this video, we've transitioned to my kitchen because that's what the video is about. Basics of knowing what you need in your kitchen. Welcome to my humble abode. Let's get started. So the first thing you're gonna need is plenty of counter space. You're gonna want enough counter space to do your prepping, your mise en place, and your work. Also, make sure that you're keeping it clean. Next thing you're gonna need is a stovetop and an oven. As far as stovetop, my favorite personally is gas range, just because of the ability to flambe easier and the control of the flame. But this right here is a flat range. And then your standard oven, as long as it goes up to 450, you're good. Oh, that's for another video. The next thing you're gonna need are your standard cooking utensils. Now, your standard cooking utensils are gonna be your spoon, your slotted spoon, tongs, a ladle, a pasta spoon, a flat spatula for flip, spatula for stirring, and a whisk. Now over here, I have something else you'll need. You're gonna need some measuring cups and measuring spoons. And I like to keep them in a high place to avoid bacteria. Now something else you definitely will need are cutting boards and cutting blocks. I have these that are color coded, orange for meat, yellow for vegetables and fruit, and blue for seafood. I most definitely suggest color coded for beginners to avoid cross-contamination and everything. I got these from a little store in my hometown called Old Time Pottery, but you can also get them off Amazon too. Kitchen shears, they are a must because they are made for the kitchen, and because they stay in the kitchen, they avoid a lot of unnecessary bacteria, and a lot of them come apart for easy cleaning. You're definitely going to need a can opener for those ingredients that are canned that don't have the easy tab. Highly suggest. Now to do all your cutting and chopping, you're going to need knives. Mine have protective coverings on them. Starting out, definitely suggest 2 knives. A really good chef knife. A knife like that looks like this, called a paring knife. Definitely invest in an apron, especially if you're cooking for more than yourself and your family. If you're cooking for a guest, or just anyone that matter. Not only does it protect your clothes during the holidays, but it'll protect everyone else also. Large and a medium mixing bowl. My metal ones are put up at the moment, but if you can, I definitely suggest metal, but if you cannot, durable plastic is just fine. Durable pot holders and mitts, they don't have to match like mine do. I have them on a cute little hook for easy access, right off of my drawer handle, right beside the oven and the stove. Easy access. Salt and your pepper. You're gonna need your fats, like olive oil is my personal favorite. Something I used in school a lot which was clarified butter. I'm gonna do a video on that soon. But basically, the fats that you use, you're gonna wanna use fats that have high smoke points, which only means it takes a high temperature for the oil to start smoking and burning. Hand soap and dish soap right by your sink is a must, especially to keep things clean along the way, your dishes, especially things that have held raw meat. And the hand soap, make sure it's antibacterial. We want to avoid contamination and cross-contamination as much as possible. So, we've talked about the basic things you need in the kitchen. Now, I want to take the time to show you a few things that I personally like in my kitchen. Let me show you. One thing I absolutely love in my kitchen is a single blender. It's good for blending yourself a smoothie, yes. It's also really good to use in your recipes. For instance, your pestos, quick sauces, mincing your herbs. Something else I use it for is my pepper. I like to ground my own pepper. Not only is it fresher, but the quality is immaculate. I also love having a crock pot or a slow cooker in my kitchen. This particular one was actually a gift. Shout out to them. These are really good for those meals that you don't want to stay on the stove for. Or for instance, in my case, my partner and I work, and some nights I don't feel like cooking, but sometimes I can prep for in that morning or the night before, get it ready that morning, head out the door, and then come back in time for a delicious slow cooked meal. And it's ready for the both of us to enjoy. If you guys would like some slow cooker recipes, comment down below or tag me on social media and let me know. Another thing I love to have in my kitchen is cooking wines. I have two particular cooking wines right here beside my olive oil. I have a sherry and I have a white wine. These are great for deglazing your pan and creating some awesome sauces. I have a few videos coming up that'll show you exactly how to use it. Also, while we're right here, I love to keep spice jars in my kitchen. Right here beside the stove, so they're very accessible. I like to keep my spices in jars, especially if they're airtight, keeps them fresher for longer, especially the spices that I use most often. I don't do this with all my spices, but the ones that I use most often, I put in jars and I keep them close. Of course, I have my salt and pepper, and then I have my base spices, I have my green spices, and I have my spicy spices. Also believe that seasoning with your fingers is way more accurate than pouring out the canister. A lot of mistakes can be made there. So I find it more compatible to do it this way. Another thing I like to keep in my kitchen is a kettle. So typically a kettle is used for boiling water. And the reason I like keeping a kettle is because it boils the water quicker. Not necessarily for pasta and rices, but when you need boiled water for a recipe, for instance, certain bread and pastry recipes require hot water, my teas, some of my cakes, and I just find it easier. It's just more convenient to utilize. Now, wherever I can, I will use fresh ingredients for quality and freshness purposes. So an absolute in my kitchen is fresh herbs. Right here I have some basil and I have rosemary. Now, it is true that some things are better dried, packaged, or canned, like sage and artichoke hearts. But for the most part, where I can, I will use fresh ingredients. Speaking of fresh ingredients, another thing I like to keep in my kitchen is a microplane. Microplane is good for zesting. I utilize my microplane for citrus when I want to really wake up a dish with some lemon, orange, and other citrus undertones. Limes, rarely because it's harder to clean will I use it this way. But for some of my pastas, I like to finish it with a hard cheese like Parmesan Pecorino. But again, it's harder to clean. So I do have a cheese grater with a micro shaving piece. You've probably seen throughout the video, but something else I like to keep on my knives especially are sheaths. Sheaths are these protective coverings, keep them safe. I like to keep these on there to preserve my knives. This one's been through it. It's also good to make sure that the sheath that you get is easy to clean, so there's no trapped bacteria. Another thing that upkeeps my knife quality is a steel. Sometimes there's a bit of confusion. A steel is not for sharpening your knife, but more so preparing it and honing it. You'd hone your knife before each use. I'll have a segment on how to use this the correct way in one of my upcoming videos. So, for the most part, that does it. Those are the basic things that you would need in your kitchen and some things I personally use in my kitchen day to day. If you haven't already, subscribe, share, and follow my social medias to keep up with upcoming recipes, new videos, amongst other things. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for watching Creative Cooking with Lulu. Let's bring the foodie out of you. Bye.